You know, there actually is a clip of Mel Brooks. I love Mel Brooks. On Jiminy Glick. And I love Martin Short. Helped him pick out his air intake for his Dodge Ram. That he actually, that I just realized he mentioned it on one of the fucking Jiminy Glick episodes. He contacted me on MySpace, like, way back in the day. And just because I happen to be into the same shit and also a car guy. They just asked my advice. That's some funny shit, though. But anyways, so Mel Brooks on the little Jiminy Glick fake talk show sit-down thing actually says, like, you know, confirming the neo-Nazi stigma, stereotype, or fear, whatever, that everyone in the comedy entertainment industry is a Jew. And I'm sure that's been used on all kinds of right-wing propaganda, although Mel Brooks admits it. But you know, the fact of the matter is, Jews are fucking hilarious. Is it their fault that the rest of us, not so much? One of these days, I really ought to put the screen on myself dancing while that song plays, because man, I get down. Anyways, and I just realized, like, I've paid no attention to my appearance yet, and I'm about to go on live stream. Okay. So I went and I grabbed my daughter's brush right quick and made my, horrible looking head look a little less horrible. Let's see what's going on with the wardrobe here. Oh, I've got my old IT installations short sleeve. I've had this shirt since 1999, maybe 98. It's not doing too bad. It's got one cigarette burn in it, way down here. Like it's barely noticeable cigarette burn. Barely noticeable. Ain't like I'm looking for a fucking job. Although, I was thinking about applying as the new White House Communications Director. Just for the fun of it. Just because, well, who else is applying? Like, I'd be the only applicant. Anyways. So, how you doing, Mr. Conway? Yes, Mr. Conway says he's dancing too. I'm sitting there, like, I'm just thinking, like, I should put a little window up and just me sitting there. I was dancing with my wife this morning before she went to work because she was in a bad mood. So I started putting music on for her. And then I put our song from the wedding on. And we was grooving. Oh, speaking of my wife. Oh. Oh. And my dad was continuing a conversation about farts. I have one message, dear. You forgot it. What else can I do for you? If you pull up, I'll meet you downstairs with it. Or what else do you want me to do? Just went for a walk in the snow, huh? Isn't it like fucking March? Yeah, it's snowing on Joey too, actually. There was no snow this morning up there on the East Coast. And like an hour ago it started falling. He's like, what the fuck? Still waiting. See what my wife wants me to do. Oh, we've got carpooling. That's a great thing about Gran Turismo 5. If you just let it sit there, it automatically generates carpooling. Nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah. Baby, all I got was I really forgot your thing this morning. I got the one message. I did not get a question, so I do not know what answer you're waiting for. Our phones are getting real fun. Oh, there was this message this morning that Joey sent. And here I have a he sent me back a fucking screenshot. Let's see, can this please show up? He sends me back this fucking screenshot of the message I sent versus the message that he actually sent. And yeah, they like something has gone hokey with all of our phones. Oh. Yeah. Let me check and see if I got enough gas in the car, baby. And I also need to air up my tire since the weather turned cold again. But we got our new hose. Let's see if that works. The little Craftsman yellow coiled air compressor hose that comes with the air compressor, ours finally gave out. So I hadn't been able to air up my tires. Anyway. Well, baby, I can listen for you and run outside for you right quick. But otherwise, I'm gonna need to like shut the broadcast down early to make it out there anytime soon. I mean, I just started, and I usually broadcast for a couple hours. So, you want me to stop broadcasting, or you want to pick it up, or you want to wait? This is the three options. Yay, car porn. Yeah. That's not very good car porn. Can we toggle? Can you toggle? Oh no. Oh. I think I canceled the car porn. Yeah. Damn. On I think it was GT4's little automated thing. You could kind of like the replay hit, I think it was up and down. I thought it was up and down. And it'll change between the cars that they have automatically generated. I don't know why they don't give you access to this area. Just let you drive around on it. It's like not even a real track. It's just the area. But like, take Shelby Cobra out there, do like a Gymkhana thing. Ah! Oh my God, oncoming traffic. Shouldn't there be like a lane marker or something? I just looked a little hokey. It's hokey enough out here on these fucking country roads where I live. Oh, these big-ass dually pickup trucks with their dually trailers with fucking dually horses inside. Alright, so I'm going to full screen the car porn and put some music on and go bring my wife what she's coming home to get. So that was recorded with Cakewalk in 2004. I wrote that song in high school. About a girl who I've been friends with for 20 years, but I recently found out that way back then she told people I hit her. And I just got an apology from somebody I haven't talked to for fucking damn near 20 years. Apologizing to me. Just got a message on Facebook apologizing to me for thinking all this time that I hit her. I don't hit women. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I'm an anti-chauvinist activist of sorts. And you know, I don't hit women out of respect for, you know, what it means to be a woman. Motherhood and whatnot. You know, that's an actual sacred thing that people don't seem to treasure anymore. But B, I don't see hitting someone or being physically violent against someone weaker than you as being a victory. That to me represents a loss. And I've heard many a stories, and I've consoled many a friend Fortunately, few times have I had to console a family member or be there for somebody who had a man beating up on them. And I just want to say, hitting your spouse, especially, well, let me just go right to your nuts with this one. If you hit your spouse, you're acknowledging that she is mentally superior to you, and that all you have left is fucking Neanderthal power. Okay? That's fucking pathetic. And you know, obviously, I always know the basic reasons why things are wrong. But what I do on this channel is I try to tell people how to bring the argument to the source. God, look at those Ferraris. And of course, the Jag. You know, this beard should be adopted by Jag owners. This is the perfect beard for a Jag. Just this down here, not the rest of my needing to shaveness. Why do you have a beard like a pharaoh? Because I drive a Jag. You know? Just kind of... I don't know. Anyways, I guess I'll get on with it. Oh look, the mic's actually on. Cool. That's good. I've done that right so far. So far, so good. Ish. Anyways. So, we are trying to pick a car. And, you can pick your cars, and you can pick your nose, but you can't wipe your car on the back of the couch. Wait. Something like that. So I guess the first place I'm going to go is here. I only have $5.7 million. Only $5.7 million. That's not even enough to fix this fucking haircut I got. And, well, maybe if I go to one of them fancy hair saloons. No, but $5.7 million. Seems like a lot of money. But it's not. That right there confuses me. Is that a GT car or a prototype? It says GTR-1. I'm not familiar with that. But it's like, I'm a prototype in the front and I'm a GT car in the back. And you're not going to tell me the horsepower. $592. Engine is designed by Jack Roush Racing. 6-liter overhead valve V8. So, it's made for GT. It just looks like a prototype of the car. But that means it's, well, let me see the weight. Yeah, 1,150 kilograms. That's too fucking heavy. And this, I can't afford it. Just saw this on a historic car compilation. '69 Ford GT40 race car, the number 6. They were, the compilation was the most expensive cars of all time. Oh, and there it shows in the game too. $19 fucking million. I'll take a 95 Integra out there in that bitch. Okay, no, that's not gonna work. Although, you'd be surprised what I could do with my Integra, the one I've been driving, with a big ass turbo on it. In fact, that's almost worth doing. I'll beat the fucking GT cars with it. If I can get in a draft behind the Le Mans cars. In good shape. Alright, so all those new fancy cars aren't really on here, are they? What do we have? We get an Audi TDI for 4.7. And I might wind up doing that, because that's a pretty damn good car for Le Mans. And is there a Pescarolo dealership? No, I don't think there is. Huh. So, what the fuck else even is there? Was Toyota a prototype? No, we got NASCARs. So, Audi and Peugeot? Ah, Peugeot. $4 million. Now here's the deal. That car should be faster, I suppose. The other one can get more powerful. And on Le Mans, you know, them fucking straights, is good. It's a hell of a decision though, because I can only buy one car. I got $5 million. These cars are $4 million each. What's the weight? There you go. 925 kilograms versus, where'd you go? Peugeot, because it's made of poo. Wait, I mean, it's made of show. 900. Oh, the Audi is 5 kilograms lighter. Probably because of the monocoque. I mean, the chassis construction. Monocoque. Could they have come up with a different word, like monocoque, as opposed to bicoque or tricoque? Yes, now we have the domed monocoque design. And if you have a domed monocoque for more than 4 hours, I suggest you call a physician. Okay, so a Peugeot and an Audi, and no Toyota. I don't think there's a Nissan. Unless, wait, the tricycle. Isn't there a wait, no, that's newer, isn't it? Or is there a tricycle? You know the Delta Wing prototype? I call it a tricycle. It's a tricycle. Okay. Now, the first time I ever played that race, I won it with that. The Zonda R. Just put a shit ton of power on it. Flew down the fucking straights. And I got the mechanical grip well enough to get around most of the prototypes. The Pescarola would keep up behind me in the corners. So, whoever's here, feel free to comment on what your opinion is. And I'm kind of with Mr. Conway. He says, don't buy the shitty Peugeot. Yeah, it made good lap times until it broke down every time, didn't it? You know, because it's a Peugeot. Well, there's nothing else. Unless I want to try to do it with a Viper. This is it. And if this fucker doesn't make it easy enough, I'm gonna use the damn Red Bull car. I'll use this one for Nürburgring for sure. Here's a question I have. Does anyone know the answer? Why do they have chassis reinforcement available for prototypes? Howdy, Emily. Yeah, like, I don't like Audi because of who drives them. And their race team, while they're awesome and I respect them, and it's like, fuck, man, 1-2 in Le Mans like years in a row, and among other races, fucking Sebring, and got the way they would pass on the outside in that car around the outside of Sebring. Remember that shit? But those teams, their team, I never got the sense that they were, gentlemanly and honest. They were definitely Audi drivers. You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of my way kind of drivers, Like, they drive like they're hangry, but they're not hangry. They're just hangry for more money. Right. I saw a fucking, a nice, like, charcoal metallic A6 sedan going down the road today with that fucking low trunk line. Oh, good looking car. And it was a woman with teased hair and sunglasses talking on her cell phone driving. Audi. Anyways. So, do you think there's any fucking difference on whether or not you put that chassis reinforcement on a prototype car? I would think that if the chassis needed more reinforcement, Audi would have reinforced it more because they're German. I think every bit of bend in the chassis is designed to work with the suspension. But, and this is a big but, like J-Lo ass, does the game take that into effect? Does the game take their chassis movement that's designed to work with the suspension into effect, or does it apply some sort of generic deforming model? Well, how would I know? I can't take it for a test drive and find out, because I can only do that once. I can't undo it. It's one of the things that you apply but can't undo. But I think in all likelihood, the way the game is programmed, if that's available, it probably helps. So, while it's contrary to actual racing logic, I think it goes to that. Turbo kits. So, 744 horsepower. I don't think that's right. Pretty sure this thing like breaks in some god-awful way. If I forget that this game has engine break-in on it. So we will go to France. And we will test out the restaurant. And then we will eat les saucissons. I don't know. I'm like hungry for breakfast food. That's just fucking pointless. Alright, racing hard. Traction control off. Tire wear and fuel consumption on. Grip reduction real. Mechanical damage. I like mechanical damage. That's a good concept, but I'm not going to use it right now. I'm just testing. But I miss doing the online little room things. Where it's kind of like a chat room for fucking drivers. You have car damage enabled, so everybody has to be respectful. Alright. I would like a full set of tires. And I'm going to tune to mediums. And we're going to keep the gearing nice and low. I mean, I'm going to make this fucking car be able to do that kind of speed later, but it's not going to do it down that bumpy ass straight on the mall. Looks good to me. Okay. On This is downforce. Let's see, we're at 30 to 60. 50 to 85. Oh, for fuck's sake. That was one for me, one for the doctor approach. Because my brain doesn't feel like working. That was good enough. That's not how that car looks to me. 5 and 5, what the fuck is that? We're gonna roll with that. I forgot about this weird shit here. With 35 and fucking 15. What I need to do is go look at the damn car. I need to look and see if it's sitting right. I don't know if they got many people who actually take that approach, but if your car is not stanced right, it's not going to handle right. And if you know how to build a car, you can take this approach to building the virtual car. The problem is, where do you go to look at it? Okay. Clearly that looks really high in the front. Now, but for Le Mans, like, so I can hit the brakes really hard, I like it high in the front. That's closer to where I want to be right there. I like that. I'm sitting there thinking about the pitch of the body, so I open that up and I go, body. That's weird how that's the lowest it'll go, though. Alright, I think I got it. Oh, wait. This is very important with this car. It's kind of a bitch. And, you don't want to make it any easier than it already is to spin out. Now, when I look at that Audi, I've watched a whole lot of that 2007, 2008 series. Was it 06? Yeah, 06 too. After Katrina. After Katrina was when I was at my mom's house watching fucking TV. And, the rear camber on that car is probably more like 2.8 degrees, maybe on past 3 degrees. And that's how most of the prototypes are. Most of the cars out there on the field in general ran some extreme rear camber. And it's funny how tuning trends feed off of each other. Like over the years, you see different race car drivers that try different stuff, and then like the next year, different people will do stuff that the guys in front of them did. And what that rear camber setup was doing was basically making the cars real twitchy in the back. Get a lot of rear wheel grip through a corner. finish this little cigarette right here. I'm just gonna take it easy for the first lap. Hello. Where am I sitting in this car? Okay. Okay. It always throws me off a little bit not being able to actually get in a car. Now I shall light a fresh cigarette, for this is France, and we smoke while we race. Don't they smoke while they race? No, they don't smoke. Which camera? That camera. Okay. Oh, there's a wall. Hi, wall. Just want to make sure you're over there. Wall. Good wall. Stay over there. Ooh, okay. There's the sand. Let me shift. God, I hate that. And I hate that cone. Or whatever it is. Like a dildo or something. I don't know. Now they should call that a monocoque. That was horrible because I got on the grass right before I took the fucking straight. When did the light go sour? It wasn't in the right hole about it. Damn. Really? I have to do something about that. Wasn't having any kind of problem with the wheel spin, except for right there. That's a little negative G. And the lean back can cause a bit of a problem with that. I'm doing this for other reasons. What I want to do is balance the downforce a little more to the rear. I had it balanced a little to the front. But I wanted just a little less downforce. Maybe at the rear. sway, go a little more independent. That works for me. Like we've already gained a couple horsepower braking the motor. Now, what you don't want to do is make the suspension really hard for this track. You really want to get your camber angles and your differential figured out, and you want to get your balance front to rear figured out, and then you can tighten up the suspension until it feels hard to drive. Because bear in mind, this car is going to go around this track for 24 hours, which means your hands are going to be on this wheel for 24 fucking hours. Or, you know, at least 23 of those, 22, you know, with long pit stops. And maybe one mechanical problem. You're going to be in there for a while. And you don't want your hands sitting there jolting and jittering around. And also, you don't want to have too tight of a grip on the car to keep it going, especially in a straight line. Now, you're in a competition with the other drivers in real life on how much do you want your little hands to take. So everybody's, you know, it's engineers wanting to make the car faster, and drivers want to make the car faster, but to a point. They want to make it drivable. They want to make it comfortable. So I like to maybe lower the spring rate by a kilogram from what stock is, or keep it at stock instead of raising it. Then I'll lower the sway bars. Lowering it in the rear reduces oversteer. And, you know, I want to be able to stay on the gas as much as possible without spinning out. So it's how much do you want your rear wheels to spin the car. If they make too much power and they can just do a little burnout without spinning your car around, that's, you know, less camber. More camber is when they start to turn, they're going to turn the car. Because they're loaded down on that side, so that side's leaning out, and the inside isn't loaded, and it's cambered, you know, to where it has less grip. And then your differential's the same way. The higher the number, the more it's going to oversteer. differential on this car, you want to have like a 57 to 60 acceleration setting so that the car won't just steer you right into the wall when you hit the gas. Now, the reason why I didn't change the differential setting just then was because of how well it was handling through the other corners. I'm going to work all that out and get smoother through there until I, really get a feel through there whether or not I'm actually pushing the car or not. And if that one corner still becomes a problem with the changes that I just made, then I'll probably put that differential up to 60. That's as far as it goes. Now, the difference between that and a street car, I've seen street cars with differentials set up to where they don't even kick in under deceleration, and then the acceleration is 80% effective. So it's just sitting there like no matter what, trying to make those wheels go 80% the same speed, basically. Or 80% sensitivity to where it locks up. I'm really not sure exactly what those fucking settings mean. I just kind of like to know what it does as far as how it makes the car handle. Anyway. 335, not bad. I'm still using the stick shifter. Can't see that shit. I love this through here. Oh no! Let me go fucking line. Oh really? And the broadcast goes red right there? So the broadcast just went red. Fuck. I want to save the replay. I just want to play the replay. Well, I apologize. I didn't notice. You should have said something. I had the program window larger than I needed it to. If I make it tiny, which means more of it can be allocated to my antivirus software. Take a break and we can watch this travesty unfold. But it feels okay. Car feels pretty good. Certainly looks higher in the front than they ran it. Well, it'll say buffering instead of just frame out. I don't know if it was what it was doing. As soon as I said buffering, it started buffering. Oh, I said buffering again and it stopped buffering. Buffer on, buffer off. Every day I'm buffering, 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 buffering. Every day I'm 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 buffering. Look, if YouTube would get me rich, like if YouTube would actually let me make fucking money, I would hire people from college and